What if the first thing you ever truly loved was something you had absolutely no talent for? Not something you were born good at, not something people praised you for, but something that made you struggle, fail, and question everything about yourself. This is the story of a boy who had everything figured out, until he realized he felt nothing at all. This is Blue Period. Yatora Yaguchi is the kind of student everyone envies. He gets good grades. He understands what teachers want. He blends in perfectly with his friends. On the outside, his life looks ideal. But inside, there's nothing. No passion, no excitement, no real reason to wake up in the morning. He studies not because he loves learning, but because it's expected. He smiles not because he's happy, but because it's easier than explaining how he really feels. Yatora isn't living his life. He's just following a script, until one day, something changes. One morning, after a long night out, Yatora walks into school, tired, disconnected, and completely numb. And then he sees it, a painting, simple, quiet, but overwhelming, a deep, emotional blue, capturing a city he sees every day, but has never truly looked at. For the first time in a long time, Yatora feels something. He doesn't understand it. He can't explain it, but he knows one thing. He wants to create something like that. So he picks up a brush, not because he's good at it, not because he knows how, but because he finally wants something. Yatora joins the art club, and immediately, reality hits. He's not talented, not even close. Other students understand things he doesn't. They draw naturally. They see things differently. Meanwhile, Yatora struggles with even the basics. But unlike everything else in his life, he doesn't quit. He studies, he observes, he practices, over and over again. Because for the first time, failure doesn't feel meaningless, it feels necessary. He meets others like him, students chasing art for different reasons, including Ryuji, also known as Yuka, someone incredibly talented, but deeply conflicted about their own path. Through them, Yatora begins to see something important. Art isn't just about skill, it's about identity. As Yatora continues, he realizes something harsh. Art is not just about drawing what you see, it's about understanding why you draw it, how you present it, what you want people to feel. Color theory, composition, perspective. Every piece becomes a problem to solve. And slowly, the gap between him and the talented students becomes painfully clear. They move forward naturally. He has to fight for every inch, and it breaks him. There are moments where he stares at his work and feels nothing but frustration. Moments where he wonders, why am I doing this? Was this a mistake? But deep down, he knows the answer, because even when it hurts, this is the only thing that has ever made him feel alive. Then, Yatora makes a decision, a crazy one. He decides to aim for the Tokyo University of the Arts, one of the most competitive art schools in Japan, a place where only the best of the best are accepted. And he's starting from zero. Everyone is shocked. Some think he's being unrealistic. Others think he's setting himself up to fail. And honestly, they're not wrong. But Yatora doesn't stop. He studies harder than ever, balances school and art practice, sleeps less, pushes more. His life becomes a cycle of exhaustion and effort, because now he has something to lose. As the exams get closer, the pressure builds. Yatora begins comparing himself to others, people who are drawing since childhood, people who seem naturally gifted, And once again, doubt creeps in. What if effort isn't enough? What if talent really is everything? At the same time, his relationship with Yuka becomes more complicated. Because while Yatora is chasing art, Yuka is struggling to even believe in it. Through these interactions, Yatora realizes something deeper. Art isn't just about getting better. It's about understanding yourself. And that's much harder. Something changes, not in his skill, but in his mindset. Yatora stops trying to impress others, stops trying to be correct, and starts asking, what do I want to say? What do I feel? And for the first time, his art becomes honest. Not perfect, not flawless, but real. And that's when everything begins to click. The entrance exams arrive. This is it. Everything he worked for comes down to this moment. But Blue Period isn't really about whether he passes or fails. It's about something much more important. The realization that talent isn't everything, and passion isn't easy. It's painful, confusing, and sometimes it makes you question yourself more than anything else. But it's also what gives life meaning. Yatora started his journey feeling nothing, and through art, he finally found something real. If you've ever felt lost, or unsure about what you want to do in life, Blue Period might hit harder than you expect, because sometimes the hardest path is the only one worth taking.